morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Today in Proverbs, every night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going through Proverbs. Proverbs is my favorite book in the Bible because it has a chapter for every day of the month. When there are not 31 days, just keep reading until you catch up. Okay, so since today is the 29th, my 7th wedding anniversary is tonight. Man, I miss my wife. I ain't lying, but that's the price I got to pay. But I'm reading from the New King James Version and the Message Bible. And I will be giving definitions as well, because to put things into a context. All right, so let me pray, get in the word. Father, thank you for another day around your word. Speak through my mind, speak through my heart, and speak through my lips with wisdom and understanding, so that I may precisely articulate this word to pierce the hearing, the vision, and the hearts of your children, so that we may live the righteous lifestyle that you have ordained for us to live. In Jesus' name, amen. I guess everybody watching basketball. Okay, so since this is the 29th, we're going to start in the 29th chapter. And this is the first verse. And like I said, I'll be reading between the New King James Version and the Message Bible. He who is often rebuked and harden his neck will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. The Message Bible say, for people who hate discipline and only get more stubborn, there'll come a day when life trembles in and they break. But by then, it'll be too late to help them. Okay, listen. For people who hate discipline, somebody that don't want to listen, you can't tell them nothing, and only get more stubborn, there'll come a day when life tumbles in and they break. And by then, it'll be too late to help them. Why? Lo, man, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Why? Why will it be too late? Because they were stubborn, man. They wouldn't want to listen. Some of our kids are the very same way. Man, you be trying to tell them, you know, what's right and what's wrong, and they still won't listen. And they have to go out and find out the hard way. And see, and this person is one that's got to go out and find out the hard way, because they don't want to listen. Verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when a wicked man rules, the people groan. Listen, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when a wicked man rules, the people groan. The Message Bible say, when good people run things, everyone is glad. But when the ruler is bad, everyone groans. And you can look at that from some of the leadership that we've had in this country. You know, when somebody that is not liked, I mean, people are not happy. It's just that simple. No, when a righteous man rules, no, the people are happy. They don't groan. Yeah, the wicked groan. You're right. When the righteous man rules, the wicked groan. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Verse 3, whoever loves wisdom makes his father rejoice, but a companion of harlots wastes his wealth. And harlot in the Bible is nothing but a prostitute, a loose woman. That's what a harlot is, okay? In the Message Bible, it says, if you love wisdom, you'll delight your parents, but you'll destroy their trust. Wow, if you run with whores. That's the Message Bible. Okay, you talking about a loose woman, and believe me, there are a whole lot of women out here trying to trap some men that's got money. Look at a lot of these athletes, how they get caught up, and the reason most of them get caught up with them type of women, because the majority of their time they spend is in a strip club. See, you'll be surprised that a lot of athletes, that's where they spend on their off day, man. The majority of their time is spent in a strip club. And usually that is the kind of woman that will end up trapping trapping them. You one of the lucky ones, man. All right. Verse 4, the king established the land by justice, but he who received bribes overthrows it. The Message Bible say, a leader of good judgment gives stability. An exploiting leader leaves a trail of waste. And boy, and you can look at some of the politicians right now, and you can see that they are influenced by money. It's all about the personal gain for them. That's all it's about. What they can get, enriching themselves. Okay? Verse 5, a man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. The Message Bible say, a flattering neighbor is up to no good. He's probably planning to take advantage of you. That's a person that always trying to butter you up. That's a when somebody's constantly flattering you, telling you how good you are, always puffing you up. They up to something. Man, in fact, even with Trump, man, if you want to get something from Trump, all you got to do is butter him up. I mean, just pour on the flattery, and you can get anything you want because you flatter him. Now, I'm not trying to. I'm just telling you how it is. The fact, why are you talking? No, I'm not talking. I'm just telling you his trait, and everybody knows it. Okay, all right, man. I will. Everybody knows that, and this is a good example. When people try to butter you up and flatter you, they are trying to influence you. And this is what this is talking about. Verse 6, by transgression, an evil man is snared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. Message Bible say, evil people falling into their own traps. Good people run the other way, glad to escape. See, and this is saying to you, man, don't worry about somebody trying to set a trap for you. Listen, by transgression, an evil man is snared, but the righteous sing and rejoice. When somebody's out to try to get you, man, they digging a hole for themselves. They're digging a hole for themselves because they'll fall in it before you will. Now, and let me say this. Sometimes life is not fair. Let me say that again. Sometimes life is not fair. Okay? There are times that you're going to experience injustice. And it seems like those people going to get away. And sometimes they do get away. They do. Sometimes they do. Because you can look at the number of people who have been falsely accused and in jail, and sometimes for a long time. And a lot of them, they might die in jail from an injustice. They get accused of something that they really didn't do. Sometimes life will deal you a bad card, but it all depends on how you play it. Okay? It all depends on how you play that bad card. New York, man, thank you for joining me. All right? Verse 7, the righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. The righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. Why? Because wicked people don't have no compassion. See, that wicked person, when that righteous man is going to have some compassion, going to look at it. Not from a profitable point of view. That wicked man is going to look at this from a profitable point of view. They don't care about people suffering or what they're going through. The Message Bible says this: the good-hearted understand what it's like to be poor. The hard-hearted haven't the faintest idea. They could care less what folk are going through. That's why they can come in and tear down neighborhoods and displace people, all for profit. And we've seen that. They displace people, the poor, and don't care where they got to go, where they got to live. Don't even care. It happens all the time. Verse 8, scoffers set a city aflame, but wise men turn away wrath. In the Message Bible, it says a gang of cynics can upset a whole city. A group of sages can calm everyone down. Okay, see, I told you I'd give you some definitions. Let me give you the definition of scoffers. Hold on a second. Scoffers, a person who mocks, ridicules, or treats someone or something with contemptuous derision, often challenging deeply held belief, moral values, or religious faith. A person who mocks or ridicules. So it says a scoffer set a city aflame, but wise men turn away wrath. Verse 9 say, if a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether the fool rages or laughs, there's no peace. See, when you get around a foolish person, I don't care what's going on, you're not gonna have any peace, because they gonna always have some drama around them. Always gonna be some confusion around a foolish person. See, the Message Bible says a sage trying to work things out with a fool gets only scorn and sarcasm for his trouble. Because they're going to turn around and demonize you. When you trying to help a fool, they'll end up demonizing you, talking about you. Oh, you think you better than. Who are you to be trying to tell somebody what to do? And I'm sure a lot of y'all done ran across that when you be trying to help somebody and then they turn around and attack you. And you trying to help them. That's this kind of person. And it might be some of your family members. Verse 10, the bloodthirsty hate the blameless, but the upright seek his well-being. Message Bible say, murderers hate honest people. Moral folk encourage them. See, the bloodthirsty hate the blameless. And this is one of the things that you have to contend with when you trying to be the light. A lot of folk ain't gonna encourage you when you trying to be the light, when you trying to do right. A lot of people will not be encouraging. A lot of people will not offer you support. They might agree with you, but they ain't gonna make no commitment to try to uplift your cause. And that's the sad thing right now in the world. Too many people are afraid to uplift some things that they agree with. But because we are so conditioned to be afraid of each other, we won't raise one finger to help that cause. Because out of your fear, you're always going to be suspicious. What you going to do with the money? What you up to? Who is this going to benefit? That's how people do. Verse 11. A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man hold them back. A fool vents all his feelings. See, this is telling you there are times, man, you need to keep your mouth shut. Juanita, thank you for joining me. There are times you need to keep your mouth shut. Everything that comes up shouldn't come out. And on social media, you got people telling all their business. I mean, for likes and subscribers, they'll sit down and tell all their business. Some of them will even go as far as to put intimate acts on social media just to get some followers. You know, they would show intimate acts, even showing themselves. See, a fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man hold them back. The Message Bible says, a fool let it all hang out. A sage quietly mulls it over. Some things you don't need to share, especially on this platform. You shouldn't be an open book. Is what this is telling you. Okay? And see and some folk, and they'll root you on. Oh yeah, come on, let's see that. Let me see that. I bet you won't do that. Now, some things, man, you don't need to do on this. Have some secrets. you know, have some secrets that don't nobody know. That's what this is telling you. Verse 12. If a ruler pays attention to lies, all his servants become wicked. Why? Because they see lies are the things that work. You know, I used to drive a bus for Wamata Metro, and in order for you to keep your job with Metro, man, you got to be a good liar. You have to be able to articulate whatever situation you come across according to the SOP. And because you articulate it that way, don't mean that's the way it really happened. If you told the truth, you probably will be fired. But most folk that work for Metro, man, they have to lie in order to keep their job. Maybe that's why I ain't up in there. All right. Verse 12 in the Message Bible. When a leader listens to malicious gossip, all the workers get infected with evil. When a leader listens to malicious gossip, all the workers get infected with evil. Because that's what they see working. They don't see the truth working. They only see lies working, and they know they're lies. And that's what they see working. Verse 13. The poor man and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. The poor man and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. The Message Bible say the poor and their abusers have at least something in common. They can both see their sight, God's gift. And see, God ain't coming back for no race. God is coming back for the righteous. And there are good and bad in everybody. And we don't seem to realize that. It's good and bad in everybody. There's going to be a separation of the righteous and the wicked. The wicked is who God is going to condemn. The righteous is who he going to take. He ain't coming back for wicked people. And you got a lot of wicked people, man, using the name of Jesus, and Jesus don't even know him, but they're using his name. Verse 14. The king who judges the poor with truth, his throne will be established forever. Message Bible say leadership gains authority and respect when the voiceless poor are treated fairly. When the voiceless poor are treated fairly, and usually the first ones to get mistreated are poor folk. Why? Because they ain't got no money to defend themselves. You can treat poor people any way you want to and get away with it. Because they ain't got the money. They're going to be more emotional than anything else because they ain't got no money to be able to fight to defend for their rights. So most of the time when poor people are receive some injustice, all they're going to do is moan and groan and complain. That's it. That's the majority of what they're going to do. Moan, groan, complain, and tear up their own community. See, they ain't going over in the community of the rich because they know better than to go over there. But they'll burn down their own community first. because they frustrated and mad and not realizing only person you hurting is yourself now, because you done tore the stores down. Now that you done burn your neighborhood down, you now gonna have to go somewhere else to get your needs filled. And you don't, and see, this is one of the things that I don't understand, especially right here in DC. Man, why you wanna steal from stores and cause them to close down in your community? Which means now you're gonna have to go somewhere else. You're gonna have to spend some money to travel to get your needs met. Why? Because you didn't appreciate it where you are. And man, we got so many stores, grocery stores, that are closing down in the Black community because people done stolen blind. And you don't think you ain't hurting yourself. And when you go some other places, see, they're going to be watching your ass. They're going to be waiting for you, because you're going to stand out like a sore thumb as soon as you walk through the door. They're going to tag you and know, oh, let's keep an eye on this one. Verse 15. The rod and rebuke give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to the mother. The rod and rebuke give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to the mother. The Message Bible say, wise discipline impart wisdom. Spoiled adolescents embarrass their parents. See, this is talking about all these parents that's trying to be friends with their children. Every time they do something, ooh, that's so cute. Ooh, look how cute that is. And then when they grow up and become wild weeds, now you can't even control them. Because when you had the time to discipline, when you had the chance, see, you trying to be their friend. You can't be your friend. You can't be your children's friend. Let me say that again. You can't be your children's friend, because they going to grow up with a lack of respect. Man, I wish my kids would call me by my first name today, and they 42 and 43. I wish one of them would try to call me by my first name. And you got so many kids out here right now that call their parents by their first name, and that ain't nothing but a lack of respect. What would I do? Shit, slap the shit out of them. That's what I would do. Shit, slap the shit out of them. You ain't gonna disrespect me like that. You crazy. You crazy. You think I'm gonna let you call me by my first name? You out your mind. Absolutely. Well, I might, they would get the point. Let me put it like that. They would get the point. But seriously, man, seriously, right now, parents, see, the problem is they took the discipline out of home. That's the problem. All right, discipline has been taken out of the home. That's why a lot of these young kids are running around like wild weeds. And you can tell the difference between a child that has had let's see here. Somebody say, I do believe, because I called my mom and dad by their first names, and believe me, I knew who they were. Uh, that that's a lack of disrespect, man. I don't care. I don't care what you say. To call your parents by their first name is disrespectful. Okay, abusing children. This ain't abuse. This is discipline. See, abuse is when you go overboard. That's abuse. We talking about discipline. See, don't get it twisted. Discipline and abuse ain't the same. And this is what people be trying to do. See, discipline and abuse ain't the same. They are not the same. Okay. I see I got a troll in here. I got a troll, y'all. I got a troll. Let me see who this is. Yeah, I got a troll. On your left. Let's see what you got. July 23rd, 2020. Um you ain't got no subscribers. So why don't you just go on and let me see who this other person is. Uh okay. Let me see. Let me read this again. Hold on. Let me read this again before I. There you go. I can tell. Uh, if you want to call your parents about by their first name, hey man, have at it. Have at it. Have at it. If that's what you want to do, have at it. Have at it. But go get you some subscribers so you can go live yourself. Uh, uh, okay. Go get you some subscribers and maybe you can do whatever you please. Um, verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous will see their fall. Man, sometimes it is extremely difficult to to do this, and you know you have to run up to you run into so much opposition, and I often wonder out of out of out of the millions of people on that go live on YouTube, why I get some of the characters that I get out of the millions of people. It sometimes look like they be sitting back waiting just for me to go live so they can come up in here with a crap. Verse 16 in the Message Bible. When degenerates take charge, crime run wild, but the righteous will eventually observe their collapse. See, when wicked people are in charge, eventually, man, they gonna mess up. They're gonna take a fall. And the question gonna be, where are you gonna be when the dust settles? That's the question. See, when wicked people fall, where you gonna be when the dust settles? And that's the question. Okay? Verse 17. Correct your son, and he will give you rest. Yes, he will give delight to your soul. Um, the Message Bible say, discipline your children. You'll be glad you did. They'll turn out to be delightful to live with. See, discipline and abuse are not the same. They 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 are not discipline and abuse. Let me see here. It's not the same. They're not the same. You know, and another example. Another example. This person, Kel, Jet Paper. Uh, let's see here. Been on here since 2018 and got 2 subscribers. But yet you can come up in here talking about Jesus. How come you ain't on your own platform trying to build that up? But yet you can come and joyride on somebody else because you can't get no attention of your own. That's the problem. So have a nice evening. Have a nice evening. See you later. The Message Bible say, discipline your children, you be glad you did. They'll turn out to be delightful to live with. Verse 18 says, where there's no revelation, the people cast off restraint. But happy is he who keeps the law. The Message Bible say, if people can see what God is doing, they stumble all over themselves. But when they attend to what he reveals, they're most blessed. And again, man, we in a different time, y'all. Things are speeded up. Stuff is coming back. Look, we're already. It looked like the new year 26 just got here. And we're at the end of March already. I mean, look how fast this month just flew by. Things are speeding up now. They ain't slowing down. They're speeding up. Verse 19. A servant will not be corrected by mere words. For though he understands, he will not respond. Message Bible says it takes more than talk to keep workers in line. Mere words go in one ear and out the other. You have to have some discipline with whatever you're dealing with. If you don't have any discipline, just mere words, they ain't gonna listen to that. You're gonna have to punish them in order for them to get it. Okay? There has to be some punishment for them to understand what you're trying to say. Verse 20. Do you see a man hasty in his words? There's more hope for a fool than for him. Message Bible say, observe the people who always talk before they think. Even simpletons are better off than they are. That's somebody that, always, when you talking to them, their mind is already made up. No matter what you say, they only focus on the thought that they got in their mind of what they want to convey, regardless to what you say. See, whatever's in their mind, that's the thought that they want to convey. And they're really not listening to what you're trying to say. They've closed their ears because they can only concentrate on the point that they're trying to deliver. And when you got a person that's only concerned with getting their point across, you wasting your time with that person because they ain't going to listen to nothing you got to say because they only want to get their point of view. They want to beat their point of view into you rather than listening. And this is one of the things, we got more people talking at each other than talking to each other. And this is the person right here You see a man hasty in his word, man, he's talking at you. He ain't talking to you. He's talking at you. This is that person. And we got too many people right now who are talking at each other and don't want to talk to each other with some compassion, some understanding. This is what we need if we're going to turn this madness around. Verse 21. He who pampers his servant from childhood will have him as a son in the end. Message Bible say, if you let people treat you like a doormat, you'll be quite forgotten in the end. Verse 22. An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression. Message Bible say angry people stir up a lot of discord and trouble. Angry people stir up a lot of discord and trouble. And right now, look at how many people are angry. Oh, them Democrats, them Republicans, them MAGAs, them Trump supporters, them Biden supporters. And we all suffering. Why? Because the left and the right side can't work together. And when they can't work together, the body is going to suffer. And in this case, the body is the people. The people are suffering because the right side and the left side don't want to work together. What if your right or left side say, I ain't working with that side today? How dysfunctional would you be if you only had one side of your body that's working? Your arms don't work, your legs don't work. On your right side or your left side, how dysfunctional would you be? And you got only one side of your body working. And this is what's happening to us as a country. And we don't seem that we see. Man, it's hurting us that they can't come together and work together. We're suffering. But yet they got us fighting each other. And they can't work together. They still getting paid. The same people that you got TSA workers ain't getting no money. But the people responsible for helping them can't work together. But they still getting a check. And they got us fighting each other. It just don't make sense. And for the life of me, man, people act like they don't see that. They don't realize, man, if we don't work together, we're the ones that's suffering. We are suffering. Yeah, you might be doing good right now, but I guarantee you that you can't go months. You ain't got enough savings to hold you for months or years. See, the rich ain't got to worry about because they got enough money to last the rest of their lives. But the average person ain't got, but it's lucky to have a couple of weeks, enough reserves for a couple of weeks. Average person, the poor person don't even have that. They living from paycheck to paycheck. And if you take that check away, man, they hurting, they done. And these are the same people who are fighting each other. And we don't see it. Verse 23. A man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. The Message Bible say, pride lands you flat on your face. Humility prepares you for honors. And see, right now, man, because we got so many people that are fighting each other. See, when hard times come, you're gonna have neighbors who ain't even speaking, that can't go to each other for help. Because right now, they don't even speak. But when hard times come, when you need help from your neighbor because you're fighting and you're disagreeing, see, hate and disagreement are not the same. And this is the problem. And we won't put that conversation on the table. Just because you disagree means you don't see eye to eye. But when you hate each other, you don't want to have anything to do with each other. And the time gonna come where people are gonna have, because the government ain't gonna be no help. Okay? The government ain't gonna be no help. They're gonna be, man, Social Security, they're gonna be some people, these young people, man, Social Security gonna be obsolete. Won't even be available for them. See, people think Social Security gonna last forever. It ain't. Matter of fact, my generation might be the last generation to get Social Security. My generation might be the last generation to be able to get Social Security. Well, when the stuff hit the fan, and it's gonna hit the fan. Oh, it's gonna hit the fan. Who you gonna depend on? Where you gonna go? Because right now, even with the SNAP benefits in DC, oh, you got to have some work requirements now. It used to be you ain't had to do nothing. All you had to do was be unemployed, and you could get some benefits. Not no more. If you ain't out here actively looking for a job, you ain't getting no SNAP benefits. It's just that simple. They tightening up everything. So if you can't depend on the government, who you gonna depend on? You can't depend on your neighbor because you don't speak to them. You don't get along. Half of y'all can't get along with your coworkers. Some of y'all can't even get along with your own family. So who you gonna turn to? Who ain't got nowhere else to go? Who you turning to? 9 times out of 10, something illegal. It's just that simple. New York says, especially in New York, if you don't show that you're working, they will have you work at least 32 hours a week just to keep your benefits. And that's real. That is real. That is real. Okay? That's real. And people need to get ready. Because man, things done changed. They done changed. It ain't like it used to be. It ain't as easy as it. Man, I'm so glad back during the pandemic when they had all that easy money. Man, come and get this uh uh you can file for these benefits. You got a business. You better get your house in order. You better get your house in order. And more importantly, you better start breaking down some of these barriers that you have in your family. Man, if we could just get families to come together, a lot of this stuff we can get rid of overnight. But think about this seriously. People need to think about, man, if you run on hard times, who you turning to? Who you gonna turn to? And a lot of people haven't even thought about that question. A lot of people haven't even thought about that. Who you gonna turn to, man, when stuff hit the fan for you? When you really need some help, who you turning to? Think about that for a minute. Who you gonna turn to when you really need some help? You can't get it from, oh, you out of luck. You turning to me. Yeah, yeah. You come on. I got something for you. Talking about God. Well, if you ain't treating your fellow man, what you think God gonna do for you? If you got a nasty disposition and you can't be trusted, who you gonna turn to? I mean, seriously. See, a lot of people talking about they gonna turn to God, but God been trying to talk to you and you ain't been wanting to listen. So God ain't gonna God. Oh, you gonna turn to yourself? Well, okay, okay. Let's see how that work out. Let's see how that work out. And I pray that you don't follow no hard time, because you might have to eat that. Okay, I hope you don't have to eat that when you really need some help. That's the ultimate question. Most likely, nobody. Um. Uh. uh see, a lot of y'all, I can tell the people that's joking about this ain't never been through nothing. See, I can tell y'all ain't never had no adversity. You've never experienced no adversity. Because if you did, surely you wouldn't be talking this way. Verse 24. Whoever is a partner with a thief hates his own life. He swears to tell the truth, but reveals nothing. The Message Bible say, befriend an outlaw and become an enemy to yourself. When the victims cry out, you will be included in their curses. If you're a coward to their cause in court. Verse 25. The fear of a man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord shall be saved. Message Bible say the fear of human opinion disabled. Trusting God protects you from that. But when you put your trust in God, man, you just cause you can put your trust in God, but if you ain't living the way God telling you to live, your trust is for naught. It's just that simple. Your trust is for naught. And all these people talking about they trust in Jesus, but Jesus, your fellow man. Anything God is gonna do in the earth realm for you, He's gonna do through another person, because God gave man the dominion over the earth. And that's who God. Man has dominion over there. God can't come down here and do nothing for you. God has to do that through another person. And if you can't get along with your fellow man, how God gonna help you? Think about that for a minute. If you can't get along with people, how is God gonna help you? And you talking about you trusting in God. And God, and any help He give you, He got to do it through another person. And you can't get along with people. How is God gonna help you? And you can't even get along with people. And you talking about you trusting God. Ain't nothing God can do for you, because you can't get along with your fellow man. who he's going to have to use to help you. And you talking about you trusting God. You wasting your time. It's just that simple. Verse 26. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. The Message Bible say everyone tries to get help from the leader, but only God will give you justice. If you ain't living right, you think God gonna help you? And you mistreating people, and you got a nasty disposition, you think God gonna help you? I don't know what this light is in my phone, but let me see if it's in my other phone. I don't know what this is. No, it ain't in my other phone. But I see this light. Okay. Verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the righteous, and he who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. An unjust man is an abomination to the righteous, and he who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. The Message Bible say, good people can't stand the sight of deliberate evil. The wicked can't stand the sight of well-chosen goodness. Um, uh, Wicked people are in the families. That's why I keep telling you. Man, if we could just heal the families of the world, if we could just heal the families of the world, we could turn a lot of this madness around. If we could just heal the families. But nobody's talking about that. Nobody's saying, man, we need to heal families all over the world. That's what needs to happen. Families need to be healed. Teresa say somebody got to be wicked. Am I supposed to get along and come? No, you're not. If you read Proverbs, it will tell you what hanging around wicked people will get you. This is why I go through this proverb. Proverbs will show you how to live today. If you really sit down and live, I just ran here. This is what it says in verse 9. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether the fool rages or laughs, there's no peace. That's telling you right now. If you are in the company of a foolish person who is wicked, you ain't gonna have no peace. Okay? You're not gonna have no peace. And if you start reading Proverbs, you'll see, man, hanging out with wicked people, you'll see what the outcome is gonna be. See, because your life, how you live your life, you either gonna expand the kingdom of light or the kingdom of darkness. You can't do both. How you live your life, you're either expanding the kingdom of light or the kingdom of darkness. And you got a lot of people who are calling themselves Christians that are expanding the kingdom of darkness. Okay? All right? See, Teresa say, I hang out by myself not because I want to, but to maintain the light. That's just like a person that's taking a light and putting it under a bushel. That's just what you're doing. You taking your light and you covering it because you don't want to be around nobody. And they still can't see it. And we got so many Christians like her that don't want to be involved with nobody. But and you're not sharing your light. You're not see you can't worry about what people are doing. What they doing, man, that's on them. That ain't how people act ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay? Ain't got nothing to do. How they act don't impact you. It can only impact them. Man, there are many a days, boy. I'd be like, why even bother? But but and when I get to that point, this is what when I get to that point and start asking myself, why bother? Why even try to share with people? And this is the scripture that always come to me. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all, especially to those who are of the household of faith. Let us do good. Bernie, man, it's great to have you up in here, Bernie. Man, that's my biggest supporter right there. That guy. And I have to tell y'all, if it wasn't for him, Everett Overton, Laura, Tanya, uh, and Steve, Steve, but especially them, I wouldn't be here. Okay, I wouldn't be here. I mean, this guy just comes out of the blue and be a blessing. Comes out of the blue, right when I need it. And I don't have to ask him for it. He'll come up in here and say, "Man, hey, God rang my phone, told me to be a blessing, and drop some money into my account." That's the truth. And see, it say, and let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season. And see, the problem is most folk don't know when that season is coming. That's why you can't give up. That's why you can't faint, because you don't know how close you are to your season. You have no idea how close you are. And see, and since adversity guards the door to success, man, when your life start turning upside down, that might not be the devil. You just might be close to the door of success and don't even know it. Okay? Somebody say it's hard to live in a divided house. Yeah, it is. But what are you doing to bring it together? Is the question. You know, what role are you doing? What part are you playing in trying to heal that division? It ain't gonna heal by itself. And unfortunately, we got too many people. The Lord works in mysterious ways. You got to believe when you least expect it, and that is the truth. And the hard part is believing. See, that's where the rubber meets the road. When you ain't got no money, when you don't know where you gonna get some food from, and you still trust in God. See, that's when the rubber meets the road. That's when the rubber meets the road. When you ain't got no money and you don't know where something coming from, but you're still trusting God. And when you're still trusting God, man, you're going to still be the light. You're going to still be encouraging. You still going to be uplifting. You still going to be caring. You still going to be sharing when you ain't got. You see, you're just as passionate when you don't have as when you do. See, because money just magnifies who you are. Um, Teresa say, I tried to communicate, but my mom abhors the Bible. Um, should you tip the way? Absolutely. 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 Look, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't who you know, it's who knows you that makes the world go round. Let me say that again. It ain't who you know. Man, the Lord gonna bless me with some money. And when I walk in a restaurant, I'm tipping everybody. Why? Because I want to be known. That's why. And I guarantee you, when I walk in a restaurant and I'm tipping everybody, I ain't gonna have to pay for no meal. They gonna cut my meal because I'm tipping even the manager. I'm giving everybody a tip. Everybody gonna get a tip because I can afford it. And see, and when people see and know that you're gonna be nice, you gonna take care of them. You think they ain't gonna take care of you? You think when they bring me a plate, that joint ain't gonna be loaded? You do you think? And I'm tipping everybody. See, when I get my plate, I mean, I'm gonna have to get me a carry-out box because I won't be able to eat it all. And when you be a blessing to people, man, God will bless you. So many rich people right now, man, they're in prison. They got to have security when they go out. Why? Because they don't bless the people around them. But when you are a blessing to people that are around you, they ain't gonna let nobody mess with you. And you being a blessing, okay? They ain't gonna let nobody mess with you. And especially if you can afford it. See, this man, boy, I can't wait. I can't wait for God to bless me with some money so I can get out here and show people, man, how to be a blessing to other folk. And I ain't talking about nobody using you. See, if you got a good heart, when somebody walk up to you with some ill, I don't care how nice they are, I don't care how they sugarcoat it, man, you're gonna feel. Bernie, TC, I see that a lot. Loaded folks are the most stingy. They show up. They are the most stingy. And all you got to do, man, be a blessing to people. Be a blessing. And God will bless you. But see, they don't see it that way. They don't see it like that. Because they think, that people are using them. Can't nobody use you when you giving from your heart. They can't use you. They only hurting themselves. They only hurting themselves. And like I told you, man, if you really in tune to your intuition, man, when somebody cruddy, I don't care how friendly, how nice they are, when they walk up on you, you're gonna be able to feel that energy that they hide. See, wicked people always got a mask. They always put on a mask to try to deceive you with the the accolades and all of this stuff, but you can feel their energy. And most of y'all don't even pay attention to the energy that you're feeling. Everybody, we are nothing but energy, y'all. We are energy. And you need to learn how to feel some of that energy. But if you got all kind of confusion and chaos and this stuff going on in your head, you're not going to be able to sense this stuff. And that's how people take advantage of you. Because you are not in touch with your own energy. You don't want to trust your own intuition. That's why you get taken advantage of. That's why. Because you can sense that. You can feel it, man. You know when this person ain't no good. You know it. Ain't nobody got to tell you nothing. You can sense it. Okay? All right? That's the end of and matter of fact, this Bernie asked me to start. I used to do Saturday in Proverbs. Every Saturday, man. I did Saturday in Proverbs. And he said, can you start back up again? And the Lord said, do it every day. Because some people going through some things. And if you're doing it every day, they ain't got to wait a week. Because you never know who is watching. I got 11 people up in here. I couldn't tell you who they are. You don't know who watching you, man. Okay? You don't know. And like I told you, it ain't who you know. You know a lot of people that don't know you. It's who knows you. And the one thing I learned about DC, based on who knows you, man, you might can circumvent a whole lot of stuff. You might not even have to stand in line based on who knows you. And that's that's the name of the game, man. When your reputation goes out in front of you, whether it's good or bad, your reputation is going to be out in front of you. And a lot of people put out a bad reputation because they can't keep their word. Your word is all you got. Your word. Most folk know you by how you treat your word. And a lot of folk don't even pay attention to that. Okay? All right? All right. All right. That's the end of Today in Proverbs. Man, I hope it helps somebody. Uh, Once again, sometimes, boy, it get rough. It get rough doing this. It really does. Because a lot of people, they got game. They you got to deal with a lot. You got to deal with a lot. Okay. And today, man, is my 7th anniversary. Man, I miss my wife. I miss my wife. I ain't seen my wife in 7 years, man. I miss her. But that's going to come to an end this year because I've been doing God's work. And, you know, sometimes, okay? Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, thank you. But I believe God going to restore all these 7 years that I done lost. Cause, man, if my wife was here, she's from the Philippines. I probably, I would have never discovered this brand. I would have never discovered this message because I wouldn't want to bring no attention to her because she wasn't here. See, I'm able to say what I want because nobody can hold over my head. Man, your wife done overstayed her visa. I ain't got to worry about that. And I'm doing God's work. I'm doing God's work. This ain't my work I'm doing. I'm doing God's work. And I got to believe that God is going to open up a way. I have to believe that. And I have to know that God is going to open up a way. Yeah, It's rough sometimes. You know, I've had a month that this guy done confiscated my sign. Been a whole month, man. Cause that's how I keep my them little donations I get from the White House. Man, that's how I keep my head above water. But guys like Bernie and Everett and Laura and Tanya send me some money and and be right on time, man. Be right on time. You know, keep it. Oh, and I got truthconductor.com. It's coming. I got. I haven't been just sitting on my. No, this time that I've been out, I haven't been down to the White House. Man, my website is coming. Ooh, New York, man. Man, you the first person give me some money today, brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. Before I say that, let me check. Let me check my email. Let me check my email. I haven't checked it. Uh, but you the first one, man. Thank you so very much, brother. Let's see here what I got. Yeah, you the first one, brother. You're the first one. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. So, you know, when I got some more topics that the Lord then gave me that I'm gonna deal with. Uh, um, but you know, uh, but you just you gotta keep trying, man, regardless of the outcome. The main thing is not to give up, cause God can't bless you quit. That's what I've learned in these 7 years that I've been out here. Man, God can't bless you quit. He can only bless you when you still in the game, and you gonna have days that you gonna want to feel like giving up. You're gonna have days you're gonna get your butt kicked. You're gonna have them days. You're gonna have some days when you don't even feel like still just you just don't feel it. But you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep trying. Cause the one thing you don't know is how close you are. You don't know, okay? How close you are. And it could be one more hit and everything break open. But if you quit and you give up, you'll never see it. And that's what especially if you're trying to be some light, the devil gonna send all kinds of people to try to discourage you. That's his job. The devil don't want you to be no light. The devil want you to expand the kingdom of darkness, not the kingdom of light. And when you start trying to expand the kingdom of light, he's gonna do everything in his power to make you quit, to make you give up, to make you think you're wasting your time. That's what the devil is designed to do. To make you think, man, you wasting your time. But remember, man, do not grow weary in doing good, because you'll reap if you faint not. That's what the Bible says. Don't grow weary in doing good. And there are too many people who are growing weary in doing good, and they give up. Okay? Man, I see y'all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Back here again with Today in Proverbs.